Hello and welcome to Magic the Gathering Arena. I'm your host, Dark Mazda. In today's episode, we are going to be concentrating on the black deck for the colour challenge. And as you can see in the bottom, we have got two quests which require 30 white or black spells to be cast, or 30 black or red spells to be cast. So I think it makes sense for us to choose the black deck for today. So let's get it on the go.
You can kneel if you like.
Liliana Vess, beautiful, cunning, and ambitious to a fault. Liliana has mastered the dark art of necromancy. Her spells reanimate the dead and corrupt the living. And she has the cold-blooded killer's deck. So challenge 1 is black versus green. Green often ramps up into big spells by using creatures that can tap for mana. And as you can see, we've got the Woodland Mystic, which we have seen before in previous episodes. You tap it and it adds a green mana to your mana pool. So we'll take a quick look at our cards that we've drawn. We haven't played as the black deck, so it's just nice to get acquainted with the deck. So we'll play a Swamp just while we can. And we've got Typhoid Rats, which have got Death Touch, and they're a 1-1. So we've also got Compound Fracture. Target creatures get -1/-1/1 until end of turn. It gets an additional -1/1 until end of turn for each card named Compound Fractured in your graveyard. Our turn again. Now we can summon a Malakir Cullblade. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a 1/1 counter on Malakir Cullblade. And we attack. I think it's a good idea just to play these at the moment. I think we leave the Compound Fractures until the enemy's actually attacking us, or if we're attacking and we get blocked by a higher powered like creature card. Okay, so this is a perfect opportunity to cast one of our Compound Fractures. We really want to keep the Typhoid Rats because they got Death Touch. So this should kill the creature. Yep. And of course, the effect from this card, when their creature died, it put another counter on both of these. So these are now 2/2. Okay, we just go to the next. And I think we do the same again. Although I think that we leave the Typhoid Rats out of it this time. And next. I think we sacrifice our Typhoid Rats in this if we can. I'm pretty sure that we can draw another typhoid rat. I don't want to really waste a compound fracture. We've got another one in the graveyard, so if they do pull the 2-2, we can actually use this to destroy a 2-2 now. So I think it's best to leave this just for later on. And we gain another counter on our Malachia Cullblade. A Demon of Loathing. Flying and Trample. Whenever Demon of Loathing deals combat damage to a player, that player sacrifices a creature. And we don't quite have enough mana to summon that at the moment. And we attack with everything. So this is a situation that we were on about earlier on. It might be an idea if we attack next turn, we use this to lower its attack and defense. We may lose one card, but at the same time, we still break through and we get rid of a big creature that we don't really want to deal with for very long. And just as we mentioned it, we get another one, so we can actually cast it twice, and then we can actually save that creature card that we were going to trade off. So hopefully it'll play out the way that I'm thinking. We'll wait until they decide to block us. Okay, so this is where we come in with our compound fracture. And we do it again. Okay, so we've got a Typhoid Rat back, which is really good, because now if the Primordial Worm attacks, we can defend with this and it should just kill it. And we're not going to attack this turn. Okay, so I think we need to murder one. I don't think it matters which one we pick, but we'll get the active one. Okay, that's fine, because now we can't defend. And I believe that's the game. I think I may have made a mistake when I was using the fracture card, but it hasn't made a great amount of difference to the match, so we'll keep going. let's see what we got. Amado Outrider. As an additional cost to cast this spell, discard a card. Might be worth it if you've got something that you don't mind getting rid of. And a Savage Gorger. We've seen this in a previous match, I believe. At the beginning of your end step, if an opponent lost life this turn, put a 1/1 counter on Savage Gorger. And we've got a couple of creature fodder. Scared zombies. So we've got Challenge 2, which is black versus white. White often uses cards that gain life combined with synergistic abilities. Whenever you gain life, put a 1/1 counter on Hallowed Priest. So this is different to the other white deck that we faced, which was a double strike deck. Now the double strike decks, as you know, are quite lethal if they get buffed up, but luckily we're not facing that today. Okay, let's just chuck a swamp straight out there. Now, what does a Sanitarium Skeleton do? Return Sanitarium Skeleton from your graveyard to your hand. Right, okay. Seeing as though we can play him, we'll chuck him out. Okay, that's a nice little instant that we can pull out if there's a creature card out that we don't like. And we have a Compound Fracture. That was a quite handy card for us to have earlier on. Okay, so we don't attack this turn. I think next time when we attack, we use the Cruel Cut, destroy this card unless he brings another one out. And then the damage that this will do, we'll put a counter on this one and make it a bit stronger. So no attacks this turn. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. Okay, so I'm glad that we'd held off on using the Cruel Cut, because now we can use it on this one and Compound Fracture the other guy. So it's a good little combo. Two mana left, so we can actually chuck this one out. And we've still got enough mana to play a Compound Fracture. Okay, so we're both going to attack. And then we use a Compound Fracture. And then we get the extra counter on the Savage Gorger. And I think we just attack with this, and I think we will get another counter on this. So unless he has a creature with flying or reach, he can't do anything to that. Or an instant which will remove him from the battlefield. think we use that compound fraction now. We don't want them to be buffed up any further. Maybe should have done it before their draw phase, but never mind. We'll let this one get past. And now we have another Savage Gorger. Now this card's actually turning out to be quite a good card at the moment. I think we just attack with this one. Okay, so with the mana that we don't tap the next turn, we should be able to bring these back from the graveyard, so we'll see how that turns out. And Bob's your uncle. Okay, I think we do the same trick again. And that's the game won. So we've got another couple of creature fodder cards. That's a Krovikan Scoundrel. And we've got a Nightmare, which is flying. Nightmare's power and toughness are each equal to the number of swamps you control. And that sounds really good if you pull a lot of mana. And Skeleton Archer. When Skeleton Archer enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to any target. And that'd be quite handy as well. Okay, so our next challenge is challenge 3, and it's black versus red. Red often relies on instants to surprise their opponents when they least expect it. So we've dealt with shock before. Shock, horror, shock, shock, horror. And they've got a goblin. Use a compound fracture on the goblin. And then we block him. Unlikely aid. Target creature gets +2/+0 and gains indestructible until the end of the turn. And it's an instant, so let him block first. Now, we had a feeling he was going to bring another one of these out. A Vampire Opportunist. For 7 mana, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. I think we use a compound fracture. Maybe on the next turn. Okay, so we've got an answer for the Hurloon Minotaur. One, two, three. Right. Okay. Just checking that they are both instants. Yep. Okay, so now we're going to okay, so we've cleared the board. Well, that was shocking. Ba-dum-bum. Shh. And now I think we can start dealing some damage. Now this is what I'm starting to really like about the Sanitarium Skeletons. We can actually bring this guy straight back. We have got plenty of swamp cards going to waste, so why not? And effectively the opponent has just wasted a shock card. Okay, so we can't use this card because we need to discard a card. Okay, we don't mind that. And just for the giggles, we'll discard this one. Oh, and we can bring him back as well. Isn't that a nice little trick? And I believe that this is the game. Okay, so we've got a couple more Scathe zombies. And we've got a Soul Hunter Rakshasa. Soul Hunter can't block. When Soul Hunter enters the battlefield, if you cast it from your hand, it deals 1 damage to target opponent for each swamp you control. Oh, Eternal Thirst. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature has lifelink, and whenever a creature an opponent control dies, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. So now we're playing Challenge 4, Black versus Blue. Blue often uses flying creatures to sail past blockers. Now I think we discard this one because we can bring it back from the graveyard. Yep, so we attack that because it can do the most damage. And seeing as though we can't defend against any of them, we might as well attack with all of these. So who do we cast this on? Now, whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. So this one already has that effect on, so it's better to have it on maybe the Mardu Outrider. So we're going to cast it on the Mardu Outrider. Okay. And we're going to attack with everything. Because we do have a compound fracture that we can use. Okay, so we're going to compound fracture the one that can do the most damage, which is the Cloudskin Seer. Right, he's going to definitely put the 7/7, yeah. Called it. No, cancel that. That was a bad move. 3, so there'll be 2 mana left. Right, okay, so we bring this one back. We don't summon it because we need to discard it next turn. But we can still use the compound fracture if needed. So, next, I think we win this turn, but we might not. All attack, and then compound fracture at the standby. So, compound fracture on the standby. Should be able to at least get rid of it. And there we go, we've won the match. So what have we got now? We've got Raise Dead, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. They're quite good. Demon of Loathing, Flying and Trample. That player sacrifices a creature. Bad Deal, you draw 2 cards and each opponent discards 2 cards. Each player loses 2 life. Murder, destroy target creature. Always nice cards to have. Okay, so next up is Challenge 5. It's our PvP section. Hopefully that we can win this one as well. Big George. Okay, I think we keep these. I wonder what deck he's using. He is using possibly a Goblin deck. And we'll get a Typhoid Rat out just in case. Are we seeing a shock? He's definitely thinking about something. And we called it. To be fair, something with death touch is definitely getting shocked. But he may have wasted his opportunity to use it at a later time. So he didn't want to attack with it. Okay, so we'll put him on the defensive. See how he responds to this one. I'm guessing it's going to get shocked though. That's the only downside. But we've got to put the pressure on. We've got to get him to use all these sorcery cards, get them out the way for the later creatures that we can possibly use. Okay, so I think we just give him the turn now. So we can get the Skeleton Archer next turn, and we can get rid of this Nest Robber with the it deals 1 damage to any target. I'm not so bothered about a Tin Street Gob Cadet. Put this out. We'll get rid of the 2-1. Because we don't like ones with haste. Then again, he wasted it, so it didn't really matter. But it's the most powerful one there, so... Okay, so Savage Gorger should get a counter. We don't want to attack with this one because it's got an ability which we can use possibly later on. He is not going to like that. Don't have any artifacts, so that might have been... He may be using that bit prematurely because he does not know what our hand is, so... He hasn't given enough turns to think, oh, well, he could have an artifact which could help out. He could have got rid of it, but never mind. We know that we don't, but he doesn't know that. I think he hates us even more if we get another Savage Gorger out. Oh, that's pretty good. I think we wait till next turn to get this out though. We'll get this one out. And we just attack with the Savage Gorger. So I'm hoping he brings out another creature card. That way we can use our Rakasha next turn. No, he's not going to, so that's alright. In that case, we'll wait another turn in case he gets something else out. Or do we not? No, we'll just so wait there. If they do die, we can do 4, 7, 10, 12 damage. Yeah, we'll do the damage. So it should do 6 damage per creature. Now he is thinking about it. Well, I must admit that was a good counter, but it didn't stop him taking the damage. And we're going to attack with the flyers, because he hasn't got a response for the flyers yet. I think that's a little less too late there. Yeah, fair enough, I'll take a bit of damage. And you know what? We'll just defend with this. That's fine. Forgot about it, but it's fine. And you can kill it if you want. I've still got flyers, my friend. And I'll just say a good game because we're cocky like that. And there we go, we've won our PvP match again. And here's our rewards: 750 gold, 275 XP, 2 common wildcards, an uncommon wildcard, a skeleton archer, cosmetic, which looks very nice. Well, thank you very much for watching again.
Special events. Each one is different.
And
This will let you toggle on all events.
If I'm not interrupted by...
Let's try to finish another quest.
Okay, so that's the black colour challenge complete. Thank you very much for watching. If you've made it all the way to the end of the video, please like and subscribe if you like what you see. Please put a comment in the comment section if you think that there's anything that I can do differently. Maybe you would have used a different strategy in one of the matches. It's always nice to hear feedback of any sort. We don't advance as players, or we don't learn from our mistakes if they aren't pointed out to us sometimes. So please feel free to do so. And I will see you next time, where we will be finishing off our colour challenge with the white deck.